guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we will be giving you our rankings of all Pixar movies, including the new movie Luca.
Our first tier list on this channel, so let's get it. All right, so we're gonna be doing two separate lists. So my list is gonna be on the left side, hers is on the right.
Yeah, so this is the first time we're doing it this way, because normally we'll share the tier list.
Yeah, we've done a few tier lists on our vlog channel, so if you want to check that out, link will be in the description down below. But this is our first one on this channel. This is exciting because this is something that I've been wanting to do since we've came out with this channel. This was when I was brainstorming of things like video type of videos that we can do. This type of stuff was on here. Not necessarily a tier list, it was more of a ranking video, but this is easier kind of.
Yeah, much easier because you don't really have to be like, oh, this is better than that one, even though it's on the same level.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go in order with what this has instead of the order of the actual movies. And I guess we'll go back and forth on who goes first or who goes, yeah, you know?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna, big disclaimer, you guys are not gonna like my rankings.
Well, they might not like mine.
Because I feel like mine are very controversial and some of these movies have just been ruined for me.
All right, so like I said, we're gonna go back and forth on who goes first. So I said rock, paper, scissors for the first one.
Oh, this is our film channel.
Come on.
Are you reading my mind?
I won. So you go first. Bug's Life up first.
Bug's Life I've only seen one time.
But it was recent.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the movie. So I'd probably give that like a D. For me, it's not really memorable. And even though it was the first time I've watched it, I think I've seen like completely. I've seen a little bits and pieces here and there, and every time I see it, I'm just like, ugh, Bug's Life.
So for me, so she just watched it. She's in her 20s now. This is a movie I've watched as a kid. So for me, there's the nostalgia there, and this reminds me a lot of being a kid. So it goes up higher for me. It just is what it is. Do I think it's as good as a lot of movies? It's probably towards the bottom to a degree. I'm gonna give it a B because I actually still think it's good, but when we rewatched it or whatever, I didn't think it was as good. Like, I mean, it's just aging. It's just getting old. It doesn't look as good and whatever, but I still enjoy it.
Now this would be a C if we shared our list.
Yeah.
All right, so Brave. I've seen this like maybe twice. I think she's a really cool character because we don't really see like any Disney princesses that get down and dirty.
Definitely different.
Yeah. So I think I'll go ahead and give her. I'm going between a B and a C. Which will it be? I think I'll go with a B. Just because the movie is just completely different. You don't see anything like it. And I like her as a character. Merida.
Yeah. So I like her as a character. I like how the movie starts. But I don't care for this movie. I think it's one of the worst movies they have. I'll say this. I like the conspiracies or whatever of this movie and like these Pixar conspiracies more than I actually like the movie. So for me, I'd have to give this probably a C.
I kind of want to drop mine down to a C.
I think it's a C. I think it started off really good though. It started off like it could be, top level, but I feel like as the movie kept going, I just was less interested as it was going. All right, so we have the original Cars.
You love this one. I'm not a fan of Cars for some reason. I just seen this TikTok saying like kind of ruining Cars for his wife and saying like, where does Mater live? She's like a junkyard, and he's like, okay, so what's in the junkyard? And she's like, junk. And he's like, but what is it? Mm-hmm. She's like, car parts. And he's like, exactly. So where do the car parts come from?
He's a murderer, basically.
Yeah, and they're like, the whole town accepts him for that. And when Lightning McQueen got into town, they never said anything about anybody passing through. So whoever passes through never makes it out. So that conspiracy kind of just makes it cooler for me. But even then, I'm still not a big fan of it. I'll probably give that a C.
So this is kind of like Brave for me. For like, I still like the conspiracies more than the actual movie.
Yeah.
For me, this goes straight into the S tier. The original Cars to me is one of the best movies. I really just like the story. Like I know it's not like the craziest story. I know it's not this and that, but I enjoy the characters, all of them. I like all the characters. I really like Lightning McQueen. I really like Mater. I feel like it's just really good. Mm-hmm. It's just really, really good.
Okay, so after Cars, we got Cars 2. What was that one about?
The spy one.
Well, just the fact that I don't even really remember it. It's got to go in the D tier. I probably liked it a little bit, but not too much. But that's probably going to be the case with some of these. Like, I don't really remember it, so it's not up there on my list of what I want to watch it.
Cars 2 is very memorable for me. And that's only because I liked Cars 1 so much. And Cars 2 was awful. I don't think it was awful as just a movie in itself, but coming off of Cars and it being a part 2 made it garbage to me. I didn't like the whole spy thing. They switched from the whole storyline. They completely switched it to now it's Mater's the main character, basically. It's a spy movie. Like, I'm not a fan. So this is by far the worst Pixar film, in my opinion. That's going to be the lowest one. So that's actually going to be the only one at D, probably.
Really?
For me.
All right, well, last but not least for the Cars series, we got number 3. This one I liked better than the first 2 because you get to see him, like, exploring the world, and I just feel like it's more futuristic than the other 2.
More action.
Yeah, more action.
And that crazy crash scene.
I was gonna say more characters. Oh wait, which one?
No, the crazy crash scene of him literally flipping and like in the very beginning of the movie, like that was a crazy scene.
And I like the part where he just like covers him whole self to take the attention off of him because he doesn't want it, so that way Cruz can get the attention, and then they go to that junkyard or whatever, and the big school bus is there. I'll probably give this one a B.
Yeah, so Cars 3 I think was much better than Cars 2 because they actually went back to the story.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I'm gonna drop Brave down to a C.
So for me, I'm gonna give Cars 3 a B as well because I think it's really, really good. Well, really, really good would probably be an A, but I think it's really good. I kind of want to put Bug's Life down a little bit. I think I'm going to. I think I'm gonna, like you drop Brave, I'm gonna drop Bug's Life.
The nostalgia doesn't keep it up there.
It doesn't. I still really like it though.
I feel like I'm gonna be moving a lot of these around as we go along because as I'm looking at it, I'm just like, that should not be there with that, you know?
Now we got Coco.
Okay, Coco, I know you love this one, and
I love this one.
we watched this in the theaters? And then he had like kept putting it on. He hasn't put it on for the longest time, but I just feel like he put it on and on and on. So it was a good movie the first watch, not gonna lie. But since then, it's gotten, you know? So I'll probably give this one a C. It was a good movie.
That is ridiculous.
It's a good movie, but now that I like think of the movie or even think about watching it, I'm just like, I can't. Like, it just makes me like gag.
Coco is such a good movie. Top notch. But I also just liked the fact that they did it with the Day of the Dead stuff. And that made it interesting. I also just like how the movie was so vibrant. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just really like this one. I'm going to give it an A. First one in the A. All right. So now we got Finding Dory.
Finding Dory. I'll probably just gonna straight away put that in D. I don't remember anything about it except for this one part in
Baby Dory?
Well, that too. Baby Dory and something happened when they were in like this amusement park or an aquarium.
Yeah.
That's all I remember. Like, she jumped out of something. That I think that's it.
Yeah, Finding Dory was definitely a disappointment when I first watched it.
I was really excited for this too, just to see like.
Of course.
Yeah.
Finding Nemo is GOAT status. So Finding Dory, like, obviously people love Dory from the first one. Like, she was just a standout character. So when you hear Finding Dory's coming out, like it's a movie revolving around her, you think it's gonna be like super good.
Yeah.
But this one just didn't connect fully. It just didn't. It was not nearly as good, nearly as interesting. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a C. But yeah, definitely disappointing.
Finding Nemo was definitely way better than Finding Dory.
For sure.
Fish are friends, not food.
There's so many lines. There's so many, like, this one also got you with the emotion. It was also just different. Fish crossing the sea and like it was just different.
The one thing that I hated about this movie was the girl with the headgear shaking the fish, trying to kill it, and then he pretending to be dead or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So one thing,
Dorothy or something like that.
I don't remember her name, but that's the only part I didn't like of this movie. So I'll probably give this one, even though that was the only part I didn't like, I want to give it a B, but I'll go ahead and give it an A.
For me, Finding Nemo might be my favorite movie out of all of them, so it's definitely going S.
You can't forget about Squirt.
Yeah, that's another thing. The turtles and stuff, and it was just done well. Dory talking like a whale. It was just done well.
Sure. Okay, Inside Out. This one gets me every time. That's got to be S.
Inside Out's really good with the emotional side.
Especially, I forget his name, but with the pink elephant, I cry every single time. If you have not watched this movie, you need to.
Yeah.
I feel like, don't take my word on this, but you are guaranteed to cry on that part. Well, you don't cry, so you don't cry, but Ollie's bawling.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about really good Pixar film. They always give you that emotional side to the movies.
And that's the thing. This movie is all about emotion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This one's all about emotion, and it definitely gives you that. It's not quite S for me, though. I'm going to go A, but it's definitely one of the best movies they've put out.
So Luca, this one just came out. We just reviewed it too.
Yeah, so go check that out.
So
this one's interesting.
I don't want to tell you guys my rating because I don't want to give it away. Based on my rating, I have to give it a B. It was good. It was different, but it wasn't there. You know, like, I really highly anticipated this one, but no.
Yeah, it didn't work for me fully either. And like she was saying, the expectations and the anticipation was really high, and it didn't live up to it. As of now, I think a B is good.
Yeah. Okay, Monsters, Inc. This one for me is nostalgia.
I can't believe that you have Luca above Coco. I can't even believe that. That is insane.
Okay, so Monsters, Inc. I feel like this is classic, but I'm not just gonna put it at S or A because it's classic. I'm gonna give this a B. Mike Wazowski. I can't say that. I wish I could say that like how she
I'm
said
getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that. What is that?
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with B.
Monsters Inc. to me is one of the best movies they've put out. It's S tier. I'm not mad at anybody that says this is the best one. I mean, I think Finding Nemo is by far the best one, but I'm not mad at this pick because it's really, really good. Mm-hmm. It just is.
Well, actually, I think I'm gonna go back on my word and put it at an A, just because now.
I'm trying to get closer to me.
Just because now, next up is Monsters University, and I'm gonna give that a B because I think C is too low for that movie because it was a good movie, but I don't think it's on the same level as Monsters Inc.
It's nowhere near the same level. Monsters University, they try to do like a prequel type thing. So they bring them back in time where they're in school again, or in school.
Learning how to scare.
Yeah, and it just didn't connect fully for me. I don't think it was as bad because you did rewatch it last year, I think.
That was the first time I've seen it.
When I rewatched it, I didn't hate it as much as I did the first time, but it's still not that great to me, so I'm gonna have to give it a C. It's still a bottom, like one of the bottom tiers for me.
So next up we got Onward. This one came out like pretty recently, last year.
Okay, so I just realized something, and you guys probably are like, I thought you guys were doing this. We were supposed to take turns on who goes first, so I'll go first on this one.
Okay.
I cannot believe that we just did more than half of these. All right, Onward for me, I thought was a pretty good movie, but nothing great. It felt...
No, we actually got exactly halfway through. 12 and 12.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay, Onward for me, it felt a little generic. It didn't really feel like a Pixar movie. It felt like just a regular Disney movie that could have came out at any point. Like, it wasn't anything special about it, but it wasn't a trash movie at all. It just felt very just average, very normal. But I enjoyed it a little more than average, a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a B.
So I liked how they did a lot of adventure, and I feel like in the moment, we did review this one as well. In the moment, I liked it a lot more. But now that I have to rank it here, it's not really memorable. I'll probably agree with you and go on a B on this. It's between a B and a C, but I'll just give it the benefit of the doubt.
All right, so I'm just gonna keep going first, I guess, since you did the first half.
Okay.
And I'll do the second half. Ratatouille for me, I really like this movie because, again, she keeps saying things are different. I'm gonna follow up with this one. I think this one's very different with the whole like rat and human aspect of it, and this rat is like different than the other rats. Like, they all care about just getting the food and surviving. He actually loves to cook, and that was a way different like thing to do because we never seen anything like that where this guy's literally in a kitchen in Paris and like pulling the hair and making this guy cook it. I just really thought that was super cool. Overall, the movie is just really good. So for me, I'm gonna give it an A.
I also like how this movie's controversial, not in our world, but in that world. Like, you don't want a rat in the kitchen cooking your food, you know?
I mean, that's our world too. You don't want, I mean, he's not gonna be cooking.
Yeah.
But you don't want a rat in your kitchen.
Yeah. I like how they made a movie out of that. But I'll go ahead and put it at a B.
It's funny if you see our lists are completely different. Not just like where things are, but the shape of the list. Mine's pretty even.
Yeah. Mine was for a minute.
Yours, well, not really, because you only have one in S, and then like your B, C, and D were pretty close. But now B's starting to get bigger. Okay, now we got Soul. This one also just came out. We have a review on that as well. I really, really enjoyed this one, mostly because it felt more adult-ish while still feeling like a kid movie. I really enjoyed this one. I don't know where I'm going to put it right now. I actually do. I'm going to go ahead and put it up there with the A's. I really, really enjoyed this one. I thought it was super good.
I gotta think about this one. So I like I don't know if you'd say message behind it, but we've definitely never seen anything like this before. And it's hard to...
That is the last time we were saying that.
It's hard to rank this for myself. We just watched it, but I don't really remember it. I'll probably go ahead and give it a B, because I think C is too low and A is too high. So
all right, now we got The Good Dinosaur. This is the movie I did not enjoy. This is the movie where I just feel like it took stuff from other movies, even Pixar or even like Disney movies, and they just made it into another movie. But it didn't feel like its own movie. It just like there's nothing original about it besides it being like a dinosaur that's good. Like I don't know. And I actually just watched this. I've never seen this before besides until last year. But I'm gonna give this one a C. But this is like the bottom list of C.
I'm kind of opposite on him. I actually really enjoy this movie, and it gets me every time, just like Inside Out. So I'll go ahead and give this an A, just because I like it. It's good, and I think it's kind of like a comfort movie.
I can see that. All right, now we got Incredibles. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do Incredibles first. I don't know why that one is there. So the first Incredibles for me is Incredible. I think it's an S. I just think it's so good. I remember seeing this as a kid and loved it. Absolutely loved it because I don't know, like I always just felt like I was Dash, and I really am Dash. You know?
Yeah.
It has a nostalgia there, and I just think it's really good.
So this one, I probably seen this one time when I was younger, but I'm not a big fan of this one, of the Incredible series at all. And I just feel like it's really overhyped, so I'll go ahead and give it a C. Although I don't see it, tell me if you guys see it, but my cousins think that I look like Violet.
Absolutely not. Because she has like big eyes.
I don't know why.
And like black hair.
He was just like, you look like Violet. Doesn't she look like Violet? And they're like, yeah, she looks like Violet.
All right, so now we got Incredibles 2, which this one I was pumped for. We watched this in the movie theater, I think. But it wasn't as good. But I thought it was still really good. So for me, I'll give it an A. That might go down one. I really like this one, but the ending for me was not as good. I really just want Jack in it more. That's a big thing for me. But I did enjoy when he was fighting the raccoon.
Oh,
in the backyard and stuff. That was cool.
So again, I'm not a big fan of these movies, but you kind of just brought some memories back on it just because I couldn't really remember it. This one focused on the mom, Elastigirl. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give it a B. I think my favorite part of this movie was Jack and the raccoon.
Yeah, that was classic scene for sure. All right, so now we got Toy Story, the original Toy Story. I mean, this has to just be S just because it's the most classic film that they have, and for good reason, because when it came out, I mean, it was just kind of groundbreaking, I feel like, in the way they did everything, and the story was just so good. I mean, now, yeah, this is another film, when you go back to it, it's definitely aging. Like, it doesn't look very good, but it's an impressive movie, and it's just a classic one that I've seen a million times, and I love it.
So I'm gonna be, like, not on S tier. I'm giving this a B. Like, it's a good movie, but it's Toy Story.
All right, now we got Toy Story 2. This is another one I really enjoy. Toy Story is my favorite series or whatever out of all of them, but it's not quite as good as the original, but I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the references that it threw in there, like with the Star Wars and stuff, so I'll give it an A.
So for this one, not a fan. Not a fan. So I'll give this one...
I'm surprised I'm not a fan of this one.
I'll give this one a C.
All right.
That big guy, though, just, like, creeps me out, especially when he's got Cheeto dust all over him. I don't like him. All
right, Toy Story 3. This, to me, is the worst one.
I agree.
Toy Story 3, for me, it's okay. Like, it's more than okay, but it's definitely doesn't fit in with the rest.
Just even thinking about this movie makes me, like, disgusted.
The ending to this one, to me, was really good, but movie overall is just, I don't know. I don't like it as much for some reason. I really don't know why. Toy Story 4, though, the last one, I'm pretty sure, unless they do some crazy stuff, but I really love this one. I love this one.
I know you do.
Mostly because I thought we weren't getting another one. And then once they announced we're getting it, I was like, they better not mess it up. And they didn't. This is much better than 3. I think it's even better than 2. I'm going to put it in the A category.
So I would have put it in the A tier on the first watch as well. But with it almost on repeat, I got to drop it down to a B just because I'm kind of sick of it. But it's still, like, I still acknowledge that it's a movie.
All right. And then we have... Up. This is a classic movie. A lot of people, especially when this first came out, a lot of people were going crazy for it.
It's all the balloons.
Yeah. Up for me, it's really tough. I enjoy it though, but I think I'm gonna give it a B. It might be on the high tier B because it might be better than these 3, but I think it's still a B.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on the B tier as well. This was a really cute movie, and I just liked how they let the dog speak in English, and you can understand his barks. But there's just this one part in the movie, again on this one, where I just don't like it, and it drops the movie down for me when they go into the space, whatever, the ship or whatever, the blimp. That just brings the movie down for me, because whenever I think of this movie, I think of that first, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to watch that part, so I'm not going to watch that movie.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, last but not least, we have Wally. This one brings back memories. I've seen this in the movie theater. I also think it's really good because, and I said we weren't going to say it again, but this one is definitely different. I feel like this one came out at a time where I was able to understand it more on a deeper level than it just being a movie, like a kid movie. And I thought this movie was different. This one was different, but I don't quite love it, I think. Even though I haven't seen it forever, I need to rewatch this. But as of right now, I'm gonna give it a B. And again, I think this might be on the higher end of the B tier, but it could be A, but I'm gonna give it a B for now.
I'm gonna agree with you on that as well. I think the younger me would have put it on the A, but just thinking of it now, I'm gonna keep it at a B. I feel like this movie's kind of ahead of its time when it first came out, because you see people just sitting there eating, even though they're like not programmed, but brainwashed to do that, and they don't walk or anything, so they get really big. And I feel like a lot of our population is getting like that just because we're getting more technology, you don't have to do as much, this and that, so they're getting lazy.
The thing about that, though, is I think it's a little opposite. I think a lot of people are health conscious now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's starting to become a trend of like being healthy.
Yeah. Not where we are right now in 2021, but a few years back.
Oh no, for sure. We were definitely at one point, but I feel like my generation, we weren't as health conscious and like in high school and stuff. But nowadays, I feel like people in high school, like a lot of people are trying to be healthy, work out. Everyone's working out now. And like even our generation, once we hit our 20s, a lot of people are trying to be healthy, eat right, work out. So now I feel like we're healthier. But yeah, this is definitely a movie that touched on that. And I think, yeah, a few years ago, we were definitely probably not on the right track.
Yeah.
But that is our tier list for the Pixar movies. Completely different.
You got a lot of A's and I got a lot of B's.
Yeah, mine's definitely top heavy. Yours is pretty even now, actually.
That's the thing with, I have a lot of B.
Yeah, you have a ton of B.
That's the thing with me though, like, I feel like movies aren't really S or A. Like, I have some on here, but I feel like they're really not.
That's crazy. I feel like that's a terrible way to live. You don't enjoy anything that much? That's terrible.
Movie-wise, at least. Because I hate the question when people are always like, what's your favorite movie?
Well, I
don't have one.
Well, that's different though, because you're telling me I have to pick one movie out of all the movies I've seen my entire life. But yeah, that's gonna be our tier list. If you enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like. We appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below your guys' favorite Pixar movies, your least favorite Pixar movies. If you want to do every single one, we'll read it. We'll read the whole thing. Let us know down below. Also, let us know which list you agree with more. And if anything on these lists are just insane, like we put something at a D and it should be an S, or, you know, vice versa, whatever. Let us know down below. But either way though, my name is Matt.
My name is Nicole.
And we'll catch you next time.